We're live at 11:05. We've been waiting for you. Chris volunteered. If you've ever been in the military, you know how volunteering is. So Chris, thank you for volunteering. He's not giving up part of his lunch, but taking a late lunch. And we saved this for you. We saved it to, so you can have some drama, hopefully not. We've cut this, we've moved it. If you've seen it before, we extended this frame 4 inches. I don't know if you can see in there, but it's been plug welded, it's been sleeved. If we were doing a live reality drama TV show, you would have got the drama yesterday. We had that sleeve so tight that sucker didn't just push together, so we had some conflict going on in multiple ways. We got that together, and instead of a 3/16 frame in that area, it's a 3/8 frame, and I can guarantee it's stronger where we put it together than it is in the other places, and it's pulling strong. So we cut this out, kind of worked it, we figured out where we wanted our 4 inches, moved the frame. I've got the body bolted down. I've got the bolts in it, but I've got the bolts in the holes where it goes, so it's body's there. Body's where it was. Frame is moved forward. Ultimately, we're going to want to move this motor back a little bit because he's added a blower to it, and he'd like to have another 1/2 inch. So I put up a mock-up motor here to make sure we got room when we do this, which we will. So we'll move the motor back maybe 1 inch, 3/4 of an inch. That'll give us plenty of room. We had room in the radiator, but it was close. We're going to change out the transmission to a 700 R4, and I didn't realize, but this must have had a 400 in it because the motor mounts, or the trans mount is for a 400. So we've got our jig here, know where our motor is, and we need to make 4 inches between here and here. This body had a little flange on it here, for you can kind of see when it was together, you could put a hood on it. So what we're going to do, I've cut 2 pieces, and I've cut them actually 4 3/4 inches because I want 4 inches between here, and I'm going to overlap it a little bit. So we're going to overlap it. And who was wanting to see fiberglass, Hanley fiberglass yesterday? Tom, here you go. You ask, and there it is. Next day. So Chris is going to mix up the fiberglass. But what we're going to do, we're going to start with, this is a bonding material here. And I'm going to take this bonding material.
It's like cookie dough.
Like cookie dough, yeah. And it'll be pink cookie dough pretty soon. This is an activator, methyl ethyl ketone peroxide with a red dye in it.
I would say we could get enough, if we got enough likes, BC would eat some of that. You
No,
see some of those videos?
Although my wife Ann is doing Valentine cookies for Into the Light. They've got 40-something dozen sold already, so she'll be making lots of cookie dough frosting. Anyway, now that I've lost my train of thought, so this Vanishing Red, it helps it to see if you got it thoroughly mixed. But in the Vanishing Red, once it dries, it kind of goes away. And I've got about 1.5 ounces or 1.5% in here, and that's my guess. Am I guessed right? What do you think?
Yeah.
We're close. And safety first. Way to go, Chris. They bust me on this show all the time. No safety. But
Where's his mask?
Can be. And I did shave yesterday. No, I didn't shave. Yeah, I did. Well, I trimmed a little bit here, I think. I don't know. And I did shave yesterday. Somebody was busting me for not being shaved. That's my wife is always on me for that. So I'm as clean shaved as I get. I may trim it down a little bit more, though. It does get a little long. So I'm just adding color. My vocal color and color to the thing. You can see it's mixed pretty thoroughly. I can still see a few kind of gray streaks in there. I want to make sure all them gray streaks are gone. I'm thoroughly mixed. I'm good to go. And that's what it really helps when you have the Vanishing Red in your activator. Otherwise, it's perfectly clear, and you just have to mix and mix until you just feel confident that it's mixed. So I mix. Don't mix that yet. Let's get these on. I think if we both work it, so I brought two. So I'll just stick some on the edges, and what'll happen, this will push in when we smash it in there, and we can take with our finger and move it around, and that way there won't be an air gap when we go ahead and lay the hand lay in there. And this is a bonding material. There's several different types. I'd say it comes out of the boating industry, but it's being used in the hot rod industry, and I don't know what all they use it for, but it does a great job of putting two pieces of fiberglass together. Before I prepped this, I made sure all the paint was off. So all I'm going to be bonding to is fiberglass. That polyester, fiberglass is the material in between. This is fiberglass right here, and what holds it together is actually a polyester resin. Once that's activated, and if you put it on this glass, on this paint, there's a good chance it's just not going to stick well. It's going to soften that paint, and just go back onto fiberglass. Grind it down, sand it down. I sanded the back of this. I sanded the front of this. This is white because it's gel coat, which is a polyester. So are we 4 inches there?
Yeah.
And did you go all the way down to the bottom of the frame? So he's going to go down past, you can see. And we're not going to be able to glass all it. Here, can you get from the inside before I put mine in? You can see how it's kind of smashed together there. And what we'll do is we'll just take and wipe it in like that, and when he rolls it, that will roll the air bubble out of it. So that will work out pretty good.
See the
Mine
tape
in.
measure to make sure we're still. Looks like it got pushed in just a little.
Yeah, I've got some 2-inch tape. Once we get it all measured and both of it's marked, all right, now I have like I said, I had a lip in here, and that lip was 3/4 of an inch. So if we go from this lip here to the very outside of this, that will spread us. So we need to measure it about 4 3/4.
See your phone, Bob. I can see if there's comments.
Oh, okay. You guys, what are you doing? You know what you're doing there or what? Okay, so I'm 4 3/4. I'm 4 3/4. How you looking there? Pretty good?
I believe so. 4 3/4. 4 3/4.
My bad, I shouldn't have put the putty on there. It's going to be stuck on the frame, but we can pry that loose.
The white stuff they're using is fiberglass.
This is a fiberglass sheet. We have a big table, and I took and used Formica, or whatever brand, Formica's a brand, but a laminate, countertop laminate, and I put it on a plywood, and what we can do is we can wax that big, that's 4x8, isn't it?
Yes, it's 4x8.
Big 4x8 table, and we use it for other things too. And then we gel coat the top of that after it's been waxed, and then we just chop it, and we roll it out, and then we can pull it off, and we have a big 4x8 sheet of flat like this. And what I'm going to do, I'll use this one on top here, but where it's rolled like this, I'll make a little small piece, and I'll make it real thin, so it'll be very bendable. I actually kind of, before we did the show, I did this, and bend it, and you could kind of tell it cracked a little bit. I don't know if you can see that, but I've actually put a few stress cracks in there, which is not good. We'll have to grind those out and glass on top of it, otherwise that would show back through the paint. But I needed to do that. It was too thick, but now it's got a little arch to it, and I can glue it on top of that. So what we're going to do is we're going to get these glued together, like so. We'll make sure it's, we're at the right 4 3/4 width over there also. I'll get this on the top. Chris, I'm going to leave this off until the sides are done.
All right.
And Chris is going to go ahead and, if you want to go ahead and start mixing, we can talk about that. But he'll hand lay this, just this section that he can get at on both sides. And that once that dries, this is going to be stuck on here. Then we can lift it off of the frame, and then I'll put this on, and we'll probably tip the whole thing up so that he's not trying to roll fiberglass up over his head and it'd be dripping down and it'd be difficult. So we can just kind of pull the windshield off and probably turn it up on its top.
You want to explain the mixing so people know?
Okay, we're mixing the same thing. It's kind of cool here today. Yesterday was beautiful in the 70s, but today I think it's probably in the 50s in here maybe. 1.5% is the general rule of thumb. You can mix it up to, I don't know, 3%. Anything more than that, you're kind of...
I put like 8 in there for 16 ounces. 8 cc's.
8 cc's for 16 ounces. So 32 cc's. Is it 32 or 38 cc's for a quart? I think it's 32, which is about 3/4 of a shot glass per quart, and that gives you basically a 1.5% mixture. So if it's colder out, you want to go a little hotter, you can go 2%, 3%. If it's warmer, you can go down to 1%. If it's 90 degrees out, this stuff's going to kick pretty quick. A general rule of thumb, if you're working with dry times, a manufacturer's suggested dry time, they base everything on, Chris got me a set of gloves, appreciate that. So save them for later. If the manufacturer said it takes, you probably have about 12 minutes work time with this, 12 to 15, about 12 minutes, is that what you think?
Yeah.
So the general ratio, but if it's 90 degrees out, that'd get down to 10 minutes maybe, or 8 minutes, and depending how much activator's in it. And it'll get to the point where it'll kick so fast you won't even have time to work it. So Chris got a roller here. These rollers have just got gaps in it, and what he's going to do now is stick that on there and roll out the air. And he can also use the brush once it's on there to dab it around. So go stab that on there. Check them from, you're going to go from this side? Here, why don't you go from this side first, we'll open the door. This is all about the video. Or you can go through the top. There you go. Am I looking at questions?
So when you describe it, turn on notification when you see, we talk about it.
Oh, okay. I'm watching it live. Check this out. Hey, I'm live watching it live. I wonder how many times we can see ourselves live. Can you see us live, being live, double live? So live, where's the live notification?
Right there.
Right there. See the live notification? Oh, we got a time delay. Check it out. There's a time delay on the thing. So, okay, that'll be confusing as heck. So if you want to watch us live, and they always say when you do the call into the radio show, turn your radio off because there's delay. So I won't watch my phone or I'll be confused. And I'm confused to start with. So, are we getting a good shot of this? Yep. Rolling it in. Now he's going to have to roll on this, put a piece on this side also. But he's got this side tagged in really well. coming around, you might want to go above this rather than filling that in. Let's just do it here and get that from the bottom. So this stuff tears pretty nicely, and I mean, if you're into fiberglass, sometimes it's just messy and you got to deal with it. So you put it across the top here. Can't see what I'm doing. You can see better what I'm doing on camera. I'm working from behind it here, but I think I've got it going about where it needs to be. Probably want to push it in a little tighter up on top. We'll roll all this in. Make sure we get it. Yeah, leave the open gap here, like that, and then we'll get the rest of that from the bottom as we come up. So if you can get that. I think we pretty much got the concept of that. Roll that all in.
One of the viewers wants to know, can Spirit build custom body?
When I was 20 years younger, I would be up for a challenge. No. You got to talk to corporate about that, Josh. Can we build a custom body?
Depends on what it is, yeah.
Yeah.
Randy Green says hi, BC.
Hey, congratulations, Randy. Congratulations, little baby girl. If I got that right, is that how much? Let us know right now. How much? What do we weigh? What the whole deal? Are you in the hospital? Randy, what an awesome guy. So, hope all is well in your world. Okay, we're not going to make this last very long because the polyester resin, not too much of a deal when you get it on you, but the methyl ethyl ketone peroxide, if that ever splashes on you, you don't want to get it in your eye. If you just get it on your skin, it'll be red and it won't be from that dye. You'll get a burn pretty quick. So if you start getting the resin on you, I wiped it off with a rag, but it didn't take it off. I mean, we're pretty much, we're not as sensitive as a lot of people. Somebody could come into the shop in the office and they freak out because of the smell, and the women go running back to the car. But it is a situation where you want to be careful with it. It is chemicals that will burn. So wearing gloves is a good thing. Wearing glasses is a good thing. Having a safety mask is a good thing. So those are all good things. So we have our books. What else can we add to this little story here? It's Rodney's car. It's coming together. Randy, tell us how big the baby is yet?
Nope.
Okay, well, I'll have to find out later. Appreciate it, Chris. You can't go to lunch till we're done here, though. We may show this again as it's coming together. Update on Larry A's car. I mean, it's getting blue, and we're just waiting for... there's several of us that can do airbrush work here, but we're going to bring in Michelangelo. He's an outside guy that we use to do some airbrush stuff, and he's going to do, we call it aqua flames. Is that what we're going to do on this one?
Yeah, he wants the same flames as on the blue one, and
So
then he
we're
wants
calling it aqua flames. It's not fire flames, but it looks like fire, and it's kind of going to be blue. It's on a blue car, and they're going to be kind of silver. So
and a little mural. He wants a mural on the back of the trunk.
A mural of
The moon. It
the
says
moon,
Blue Moon.
It's going to be called Blue Moon. So he can't make it this weekend, but we'll probably show that next Saturday. Are we going to do some live video of that?
I tried to do it last time in that booth, but
Didn't work.
didn't work. Even without just with the internet, or with the cell phone, and it won't pick up in that booth.
And I'm sure Larry T is always watching. Appreciate you there, Larry.
He is.
He is. You're watching. So we're knocking your car apart, and it'll be back over here getting welded, and you'll see some frame being painted and all that pretty soon. Motor going together. Really nice car. A lot of good stuff coming together with it. We got a couple other pretty neat cars going on. And should I look for our book? Where did I do the thing yesterday?
Inside, they're inside.
Inside. You got a good saying? You got a good saying for us? I normally, if I get a guest, I put them on the spot. Give us some words of advice to our audience here. You got none, huh?
His mind's on fiberglass.
He's focused. So for today, we may not have seemed organized, but we are. I mean, you're watching it live. It's coming together. I'm looking down the center of it. It's looking straight there. It's looking straight, so we don't have any curves. We'll get it going. We will show you an update when we have this all glass together and a little bit of body work on it, so you can kind of, if you're following the project on it. So for today, thanks for being with us, and we'll see you tomorrow or Monday.